Today we're diving into a situation that is as complex as it is consequential. A moment that seems ripped from a strategic thriller, but carries with it the very real and devastating weight of the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The event in question: the targeted destruction of the Israeli defense minister's private residence. Now, this isn't a simple act of retaliation. The stated reason behind it is what makes it a case study in modern asymmetric warfare and geopolitical signaling. The attacking force, likely Palestinian Islamic Jihad or a similarly aligned group, claimed this was a direct response to the Israeli defense minister's role in blocking critical humanitarian aid routes into Gaza. So let's break this down, not just as a news headline, but as a multi-layered operation with its own set of features, performance metrics, design elements, and in the grim context of war, unique selling points. First, we need to address the core feature set of this operation. The primary feature here is precision targeting of a high-value, symbolic asset. This isn't a random rocket launched in a general direction. This is a deliberate strike aimed at the private home of one of the most powerful security officials in Israel, Yoav. The message is intricately crafted into the action itself. By targeting the defense minister's house, the operation achieves several things simultaneously. It demonstrates its significant intelligence capabilities, the ability to locate, identify, and plan a strike on a presumably well-protected, non-public location. This speaks to a sophisticated level of reconnaissance, likely involving human intelligence on the ground. Open source intelligence gathering, and potentially even signals intelligence to circumvent any security measures around the property. The second key feature is the stated justification: the blocking of humanitarian routes. This immediately frames the action not as mindless violence, but as a calibrated response, an attempt to create a direct link between a specific policy decision and a specific consequence for the individual deemed responsible. It's a feature designed for multiple audiences, for the Israeli public. It's a message of vulnerability and a challenge to the efficacy of their leadership. For the international community, it's a gruesome illustration of the humanitarian cost of the war, weaponizing the very issue that has drawn global condemnation. And for the Palestinian and broader Arab audience, it is a powerful symbol of resistance and an ability to hit back at the very top of the chain of command. Now, let's talk about performance. How would we even begin to assess the performance of such an action? We have to look at it through two lenses: tactical performance and informational or psychological performance. From a purely tactical military standpoint, the performance metrics are stark. The key performance indicator is accuracy. Did the projectile or projectiles hit the intended target? Reports and footage suggest a direct hit, resulting in significant destruction to the property. The next metric is penetration and payload effectiveness. The goal was likely not just to strike the house, but to destroy it, to render it uninhabitable, to turn it into a pile of rubble as a visual symbol. The payload, therefore, had to be substantial enough to cause maximum structural damage. Another critical performance aspect is evasion and survivability. The Israeli military boasts one of the most advanced multi-layered air defense systems in the world. The Iron Dome for short-range rockets, David's Sling for medium range, and the Arrow system for long-range ballistic threats. For a projectile to circumvent these systems and reach a target deep inside Israeli territory in a location likely not considered the front line indicates a significant evolution in the threat. This could point to the use of more advanced rockets with better guidance systems, or more cleverly designed flight paths, or even the use of drones, which present a different and often cheaper challenge to air defenses. The performance, in this case, seems high. It achieved its direct physical objective. But the more profound performance review is in the psychological and informational domain. This is where the operation truly aims for high marks. The speed of the claim of responsibility is a performance feature. By immediately and explicitly linking the attack to the humanitarian crisis, the attacking force seizes the narrative. They don't allow Israel to frame it solely as an act of terrorism. They forcefully inject their own justification into the global news cycle. The latency between the policy action blocking aid and the retaliatory strike is also a performance metric. A shorter latency period creates a tighter, more easily understood cause and effect relationship for the global audience. The operational security, the ability to plan and execute such a strike without detection or interception, rates highly on a performance scale meant to demonstrate capability and resolve. Finally, the media performs the dissemination of images and videos of the destroyed houses executed with professional efficiency, leveraging social media platforms to achieve viral status and ensure the symbolic impact is maximized globally. The design elements of this operation are where we see a chilling marriage of traditional militant tactics and modern information warfare. The overall architectural design is not just a military plan, it's a communications strategy with a military component. The core architecture is built around a feedback loop. Action, blocking, aid, response strike, justification, public statement, amplification, media, distribution. The design philosophy is holistic, considering the physical and the psychological impact as equally important outcomes. The user interface, so to speak, is the news headline itself. Minister's house destroyed over a blockade. It's simple, powerful, and instantly communicates the core grievance. The design is intuitive in its brutality. In terms of material and build quality, we're looking at a shift. While militant groups have historically relied on volume launching large numbers of often unguided rockets to overwhelm defenses, this event suggests an investment in quality over quantity. The material used is likely a more advanced rocket system, perhaps with imported components or locally developed improvements, offering greater range, accuracy, and payload. The build quality is evidenced by its ability to perform its intended function under extreme duress, namely, flying through one of the world's most contested airspaces. The ergonomics of the operation aren't about comfort, but about efficiency of message delivery. The entire apparatus is engineered for maximum symbolic yield. Now, what about the unique selling points? In the grim marketplace of asymmetric conflict, every action needs to differentiate itself to have impact. This operation has several strong USPs. The first is its targeted nature. By focusing on a specific individual and a specific policy, it moves away from the perception of indiscriminate attacks and towards a model of what the perpetrators would call accountability. This is a powerful selling point to an international community weary of civilian casualties. It says, we are not targeting randomly. We are targeting the second USP is the moral framing. By tethering the attack to the humanitarian situation, it attempts to claim the moral high ground, or at least create a paralyzing moral equivalence for observers. It forces the world to confront an uncomfortable equation. The blockade of food and medicine leads to the destruction of a minister's home. The third unique selling point is its demonstration of strategic capability. It shows an ability to reach into the heart of the Israeli establishment, to bypass billions of dollars worth of defense technology, and to strike not just a military target, but a deeply personal one. This sells a message of power and intelligence capability to their supporters, and a message of inescapable vulnerability to their adversaries. Of course, this entire analysis is conducted from a cold, technical standpoint. The human reality is starkly different. The destruction of a home, any home, is a traumatic event. While the minister was reportedly not present, the psychological impact remains. Furthermore, this event occurs against the backdrop of immense human suffering in Gaza, where the blocking of aid has real and deadly consequences for a civilian population facing famine and disease. The operation, for all its technical and symbolic sophistication, is still an act of violence that escalates a cycle of retaliation. It is designed to provoke a response, and that response will likely be severe, leading to further escalation. The strategic calculation is that the symbolic and psychological gains outweigh the inevitable military retaliation. It's a higher-risk strategy that gambles with the lives of civilians on both sides. In conclusion, the destruction of the Israeli defense minister's home is a dark masterpiece of integrated warfare. It blends a precise military strike with a perfectly tailored information operation. Its key features are its symbolic targeting and its explicit justificatory framing. Its performance is high, both in terms of physical execution and narrative capture. Its design is modern and holistic, considering digital and physical domains as a single battle space, and its unique selling points targeted accountability, moral framing, and demonstrated strategic reach make it a potent, dangerous, and unfortunately likely replicable model for future conflicts. It shows that in today's wars, the weapon is not just the rocket, but the reason given for its launch, and the global network that amplifies that reason instantly. This is not just warfare. It's theater, and the stage is the entire world.